and the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth?
Build goodwill and better friendships. Will be beneficial to all concerned.
Alarm set correctly.
Yeah. And we're having fun.
Eric, you doing?
Okay, so the inspiration for today is your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. Okay, oh,
Yes.
come on up, Adrian. We're all just on their lives today.
Okay, I'll introduce our guests today. We have Brenda Davis, guest of Chris Davis. Lindsay Breslin. Also guest of Chris. We have our speaker, Megan Mitchell. Welcome, and her husband, Gary. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. And I don't think we have anybody on Zoom, but good morning in Zoom land. Okay. Huh? Lindsay. Did you say Lindsay, Richard? Where is she? Oh, I'm like, I don't see Anita anywhere. Anita. Hi, Anita. Oh, glad you're here. It's good to see you. Sorry, Al. Okay, let's see, announcements. Epic Day of Service. We're going to do May 3rd and the 17th. May 3rd is tomorrow. So we have Road Warriors Highway Cleanup. If you haven't signed up, please see Gary McKay, and that will be at the Country Day School, and we'll do 2 miles of the highway. If you've not done it before, and you're a new member or an old member that hasn't done it, it's a really fun thing to do. We pair up, and we love to see who can get the most unusual items. So it's a fun thing. And I believe it was last year, Steve and Kurt Harris picked up half of a motor and brought it up. So yes.
And there will be prizes.
Oh, prizes. But will there be boas?
Oh, boas and a secret surprise.
Oh, okay. Don't want to miss it. Then we're also doing on the 17th, which is actually the Epic Day of Service for Rotary. We're doing Stagecoach Park cleanup. So that'll be coming out soon too. Rotary shirt sign up. We have them on the table. So if you would like a shirt, please fill out your name and the size you want. The cost will be $10, but I don't know how Mindy's gonna order the just sign up if you want one. We'll collect it later. And then club sponsorship. Do you want to support our club and have your company name recognized on these beautiful plastic tents on the tables? We would like to add 3 more sponsors. So if you do, you can talk to me, talk to Mindy, but thank you to our current sponsors. We really appreciate that. With that, we're able to do some things. Thank you. With that, we're able to do some other things for the club. All righty, let's see what's next. Since these are not my slides. All right, we have birthdays. So let's see who's here today that has a birthday. It's Bob Bradley? Nope. Oh, Annette's here, stand in. Chris Davis has a birthday coming up. Richard Ayler and Alan Rubin. All right. And Gary Ervick is not here today. Okay. So they missed out. All right. Next we have anniversaries. So Barbara Wingate has been a member for 23 years. Yeah, we've heard some good stories. Yesterday we had the new member and mentors, thank you, and tenured members. We had a dinner, and so we heard some good things about the Wingates. Dory Painter, 20 years, Al Steger, 16, Greg Pod, 16, Ted, 15. Lots of people joined in May. Alan Rubin, double whammy, anniversary and birthday. Betsy Hayes, 4 years, Gary McKay, 3, Dave Laughlin, Becky Cunningham, and Jennifer Herrick, 1 year. So thank you for being here. That's awesome. All right. Rotarians in the wild. So, well, here we are from last night. Wow, hot off the press. This was our dinner that we talked about. And then Mary Ann and Bob with the AEDs that we donated, or AED that we donated to the Evergreen Fire Department.
Shocking.
Do you want to say anything about it? No? Mary Ann, do you want to say anything about it, or? Okay. He said Bob was a project champion, and I know that they really appreciate that. So thank you very much for doing that. Okay, we're not going to do general announcements yet. Don't jump up yet. We actually have an induction of a new member. So Jen, come on up.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, Todd and Davis, if you would come up. Todd Rader is a new member to our Rotary Club. You may have seen him if you went to the Home and Garden Show, because he had a booth there, which was really awesome. He will tell you a little bit about himself and his business here in a second, but first we're going to induct him. And I want to thank Davis for being his mentor. Super excited to have Davis as a mentor right now.
Sorry, God.
Okay, Todd, it is a great pleasure on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Rotary Club of Evergreen to welcome you as a member. We welcome you not only for the fine fellowship we will share, but also for your dedication to our community. Rotary is not a political organization, but all Rotarians are vitally concerned with everything pertaining to good citizenship and the election of good men and women to public office. Rotary is not a charitable organization, yet its activities exemplify the charity and the sacrifices that one should expect from people who believe that they have a responsibility in helping others. Rotary is not a religious organization, but is built on those eternal principles that have served as the moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotary is an organization of business and professional people pledged to uphold the highest professional standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and international peace can be achieved when people unite under the banner of service. You, Todd, have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Evergreen because your fellow members believe in you. We accept you as a member and welcome your commitment. Fellow Rotarians, I have the pleasure of presenting our newest member, Todd Rader.
Thank you very much. I just want to say it's been a pleasure so far meeting so many of you. I look forward to meeting more of you. It's been very welcoming, and thank you for that. Just a little bit about myself. Father of 4. My youngest is at CU now, so just about empty nester. She still comes home a little bit, so we don't count that. I live up in Fairplay. I come down here to work. We opened a new branch down here. I'm with Old Growth Tree Service, so I'm new to the area. Don't really know anybody or know my way around, but I look forward to working my way around town, meeting more people.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have general announcements. So remember, when you stand up, please say your name. So the scribe, Mandy. Oh, good. We were hoping you were the scribe today. All right, so come on up. Me first.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Hi, I'm Michelle Vanix, and I am the youth liaison for youth services. And until July 1st when Fitzy becomes my co-liaison, yes. But yesterday was our last, can you believe it, last meeting for young Rotary over at Evergreen High School. And I just wanted to let you know that tonight is the Inspire Prom that they've put together. It's over at the Ascent Church, which is right on Troutdale. It's from 5 to 7. They're doing setup from 4 to 5 and cleanup from 7 to 8. They've got that covered, but if you are doing nothing and want to stop by, we've got Olive Garden catering, we've got games, tattoos, music. It would be wonderful if you guys could do that. I know it's last minute because it's tonight, but yeah.
Whoa. Explain what the prom is.
Yes, I'm so sorry. That's, yes. Okay, so what I
New job.
Thank you to remind me to do my job. Okay, so the Inspire Prom, if you're not aware of that, the Inspire program is run by EPRD, which is primarily for, challenged kids. I think age group we're gonna be expecting is somewhere like maybe 4 or 5 to age 20. And so, they really don't get to participate in high school and school like your average student would. And so prior to COVID, every year they did a prom for Inspire. And so we've decided to bring that back, and that's what we're doing tonight. Hope you can be there.
Morning, okay, you can hear me. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kelly Garrett. I am wearing 2 hats this morning. The first one is for the WASH Symposium. I've got a couple save the date flyers. It's for October 25th, if anybody wants one. We've got great participation from the Evergreen Rotary Club, so more of you that can attend, the better off. It's a great conference. It's just absolutely. But WASH stands for Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. So it's all the water side of WASH. The other hat I'm wearing is for the International Services Committee. And we're trying to have a meeting either on the 19th or 21st of this month. But we've got a big problem, and I need your help if we can see if we can solve that problem. We lost our venue. John Putnam moved down into Denver, so we lost our conference room. So we're looking at a place to meet. If anybody has any ideas, suggestions, able to open their conference room up for us for one time, please let me know after the meeting. Thank you very much. We don't have a lot. We'll probably have 12, 15 people. So it's a relatively small group. We do, if we can get internet, because we do have some international participation from time to time. So it's really nice to have that, the internet participation. Plus we get some members who like to zoom into the meeting. So anyway, thank you very much.
I'm gonna butt in real quick because I don't know, hold that side. Have you seen the Canyon Courier?
Oh,
But it's
I
a
didn't know
whole
we made it.
international-
No, I didn't know it was coming out this week. Great.
Yeah, so it's a whole spread about the international service that we do for our club. So
Thank you, Erica.
Morning, my name is Kimra, and as a follow-up to international service, this is the 40th year that Rotary International and all of its members clubs have been trying to eradicate polio. 40 years. 350,000 people, mostly children, contracted polio, very debilitating, and now we're down to less than 100 cases a year. Last week, we had an overwhelming generous response with which to make donations. $1, just a single $1 gets 2 doses of the polio vaccine eradication. And we really are very, very close. So I'm making a donation this afternoon. I will fill out the paperwork for you. So if anybody wants to contribute, right now we're up to $1,100 to actually help eradicate polio. We have matching funds right now. So whether it's a check to Rotary International or it's a couple of dollars, I will give you the credit on the paperwork, and I will be here until after the meeting to accept those. So thank you so much for your help. 350,000 people every single year don't know polio because of your work. So thank you.
Good morning. My name's Gary McKay, and as Erica said earlier, I lead the Road Warriors, where we clean up the highway out here between McDonald's and King Soopers. And organizing this, I've sent out a couple emails about it, and there's a Sign Up Genius thing. And we're really kind of light on people this year. We've only got about 10 or so, and normally we have 15. So if any of you can help out tomorrow, I know the weather's bad today, but it's going to be really good tomorrow. I went on eBay this morning, $200 to get some good weather tomorrow. But hopefully an expense account goes through. But anyway, it should be pretty nice tomorrow, a little warmer than this. So if you can come tomorrow, it would help if you signed up on the Sign Up Genius, so I know how many donuts to buy. So anyway, hope to see some of you tomorrow. Thank you.
Good morning, Evergreen. So my name is Ann Moore. Because she told me to do this, so I'm gonna blame her. Two things. Tonight, are you ready for a Western murder mystery? The showdown at the Evergreen Corral, and I did not write that pun. So it will be at Center Stage, beginning at 6 p.m. Food trucks, liquor, and a murder mystery. I lied, tomorrow night. Time goes by.
Show up tonight.
You have no idea what life is like in here. It's always a mystery. The other thing I wanted to add to that is the chorale will be performing with the Evergreen Chamber Orchestra, Beethoven's Ninth, which if you've ever wanted a challenge, try singing that one, along with a premiere of The Raven's Tears, written by William Hill, who is also the director of the Chamber Orchestra. So that will be on the 24th and 25th. Mandy will correct me if I have that wrong. And I hope to see you there, because it's really not fun singing in front of nobody. You have your own. Yeah, you need another microphone.
Good morning. My name is Corey. I'm with Evergreen Park and Recreation District. Just a couple announcements. We are opening our new senior center to help fill that gap from the Yellow House, our Bristlecone Lounge in Buchanan. It should be open up this month, but we have a ton of activities. And I've set one that we're doing senior line dancing. It was absolutely a hoot last year. Highly encourage if you want to learn, if you want to come out to the lake house on May 8th. So please come out. In addition, on Tuesday, it's a big day for a lot of our special districts, both our special districts here. There's an election. So please come out. The EPRD election is on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Buchanan Rec Center. Please come out and vote. EFR's election is that day as well at the fire station admin building. Yes. It's anyone that's active that may have some gray hair. No, I'm kidding. It is anyone. No, it is all of our active adults, all of our seniors. We're just really gearing towards, so you know that it's not young people flipping people. It's geared for fun and a good night. So.
Getting your AARP mail.
Oh, wow. I didn't say that. Thank you all.
Good morning. My name is David Sheasley, and I am happy to have sawdust on my shoes, meaning that I have started the next batch of peace bowls for this year. And I have a location for the first one, and I'm looking at Corey for more. In any event, I do have the first location at the Nature Center for Audubon. Thanks to Mike at the Church of the Transfiguration, he made that possible for us. I'm planning to have a dedication ceremony on the International Day of Service, and I'll coordinate the time so that I'm not conflicting with other things on that day. Thank you.
Or just to pass through, she doesn't have an announcement. Okay, now we have Chris Davis and Lindsay for a pause for the cause.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Megan. Good to see you. I'm Chris Davis, and It's my pleasure to introduce our new executive director at Resilience 1220 this morning. I've been blessed and honored to be a board member there for almost 4 years, and even more surprised they've kept me around that long. So, but just to get to know Lindsay a little bit, let's see. I've got my intro here somewhere and I can barely read it. We interviewed Lindsay late last year and put her through a brutal and rigorous interview process. And she survived it, so we thought she might be a good candidate. She showed some resilience. Early this year, around January, right? Late January, Lindsay joined Resilience 1220 as our executive director. Just a little bit of background on her. She's a licensed clinical social worker with a bachelor's degree in psychology from St. Lawrence University. And just a quick quiz, and Kimra, I have a fabulous prize as well. Who can name the state? The first person that can name the state where St. Lawrence is located. Who said that? Both of you? No. We have a fabulous homemade prize for you guys. Very good. I didn't think anybody would get that. Anyway, to back up, let's see. She's got a bachelor's degree in psychology from St. Lawrence and a master's degree in social work from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. No prizes for guessing that state. Al.
You're cheating.
Lindsay has also worked in the nonprofit environment for over 30 years, and she has direct experience with suicide prevention, crisis response, mental health services, and it's my pleasure right now to introduce Lindsay Breslin.
Morning, everyone. I tend to shout in microphones, so let me I'm being too loud. It's so nice to be with you this morning. Just as maybe use the other one. I think that better. Yeah. So it's so nice to be with all of you this morning. As Rotary is, you know, part of service, that's how, for me, is living a life of service. And I found that through supporting people who are experiencing mental health crises and my social work profession. And I've had a wonderful career working with a lot of small nonprofits. And so Resilience 1220 is such a great fit for me. And I'm so excited to be working and living in this community and contributing as much as I can. And I want to, you know, reflect where Resilience 1220 came from. It was formed by Heather Aberg and Jen Pearson in 2019 after we lost 3 youth to suicide. And Ted Ning was also very prominent in galvanizing the community to get Resilience 1220 off the ground. And I know there's many of you in this room who've been ongoing contributors, and it's greatly appreciated. And we not only have Chris on our board, but we have Michelle Vanix as well. So I'm just couldn't be more happy to be part of Resilience 1220. Our mission is to help give youth ages 12 to 20 those skills and resilience and coping strategies to manage when we know life challenges will hit. And so we have right now over 23 dedicated therapists who are contracted out to see our youth for 10 free individual counseling sessions and 3 parent sessions. We also offer a variety of support groups, and we do a lot of community outreach. And we don't only serve Evergreen, we're in Conifer, we are in Clear Creek, Gilpin, and Park counties as well. And our peer leadership program has been rebooted, and we have a great group of peer leaders and a great peer coordinator. So that's really starting to take off for those youth to be doing those peer campaigns in their schools to help their fellow peers improve their mental health and resiliency. So I just wanted to let you know, since the founding in 2019, Resilience 1220 has provided over 8,500 hours of individual therapy, reaching more than 1,841 youth. So that's we've also facilitated over 633 group therapy sessions, and those have reached over 2,300 individuals. And then through community outreach activities, and different engagement through the community. Resilience 1220's reached over 13,450 youth and adults. So we are excited to be celebrating our 6th anniversary next week, May 7th. And we would love for all of you who can to come join us. It'll be here at the Center of the Arts for Evergreen, and we are showcasing youth creativity and the arts as a form of resiliency. We'll have artwork by youth in the area, photographs. The Evergreen Conservatory of Music Youth Jazz Ensemble will be playing. We'll be hearing from the Legally Blonde Evergreen High School group. We'll be doing some performances as well as the Youth Rocky Mountain Musicals will be performing. And then we have a special performance by Dakota Blonde. So tickets are $40. You have on your tables the QR code for tickets. The blue paper also has our auction is currently live online. We have a wonderful variety of over 58 live auction items. So even if you're unable to attend the event, you can join the auction today and start bidding. But I'm just grateful for all your support, grateful for the time this morning. And I am so excited I'll be back the end of June to give a more in-depth presentation on teen mental health and what we're seeing our youth facing. Thank you so much.
All righty, Gail, are you ready for our speaker? I'm excited to hear about what's going on in recycling.
Me too. Good morning, everybody. I have the pleasure to introduce a woman that's become a friend of mine, Megan Mitchell. And her husband, Gary, is also here to support her and talk about, well, he's not going to talk, but his business. They, for those of you who may not know them, they own Cactus Jacks down in Evergreen. And I first became aware of them when they did a lot of fundraisers there for Evergreen Animal Protection League. So I knew then that they were very involved in the community. And then as I got to know them more, Megan has slowly but surely taken on more and more participation in the community. She is the president of the Evergreen Downtown Business Association. She's been involved with leadership of Evergreen. So she's been spearheading lots of things that are going on in our community. And most recently, she has just purchased the recycling center behind King Soopers, which was owned by the old Evergreen Disposal EDS. And they have since moved away from here. So she has taken that over. And she is here today to talk about her journey to be a passionate supporter of recycling. And I don't think you'll find anybody more passionate other than somebody that we might have known that was here years ago, Meredith Mead. So would you please welcome Megan?
Thank you, Gail, and thank you, Evergreen Rotary. As she mentioned, I am the new owner of the recycling center behind King Soopers. A lot of you may say, oh, it's still there. Yes, we're still there. That's the exact reason why I wanted to take it over. Since 2000, and let me just go right into the presentation. So here's the recycling center. This is our one employee, Steve. If you've been over there, you guys probably know Steve. He's been there since 2012, and he always ends his visit with a joke. So we're really proud of that. So, and he has a new one every day. So I don't know how he gets those. So it's just the two of us right now. I'm doing some driving. I've just started my first route. With some businesses. I chose to start with the businesses because that was an easier community for me to reach. We'll get back into that in a little bit. And I'm also the operator as well. So if he gets sick or whatever, I'll be over there. Let's go through our hours. So Foothills Recycling is an LLC. It is a for-profit drop-off center. We collect cardboard, paper, aluminum, scrap metal, plastics 1s and 2s, and we'll go over this in a little bit, plastic film, glass, and styrofoam. And then we also have a compost program as well. Since under the new ownership, we've helped reduce landfill waste, conserve resources, and support a cleaner environment for our future generations here in Evergreen. And as I mentioned, we're located behind King Supers, which is at 1173 Burton Parkway, just right over here. Okay, so this is the background that I'm excited to share with you. So my husband and I, Gary, who we've owned Cactus Jack since 2001. We started getting involved right around 2006. We have two children. They're 23 and 21 right now. So we were kind of busy doing a little bit of that. And now we started getting, so let's start with the Rotary, because the Rotary is actually where it all started for me. I did watch a movie called Inconvenient Truth, which gave me my inspiration. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that back in the day by Al Gore. And I just couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sit there and know that all of my stuff that I was putting in the trash could be diverted into a different place. So I formed at that time, which was a very small operation just for Cactus Jacks. And I just started taking the cardboard, and I noticed tremendous amounts of difference of when we could get our trash collected. So if there's one reason to do it, it's financial. We were able to reduce our trash collection from a daily pickup, which was Monday through Friday at those times, so 5 days a week, to now just 2 times a week. And that's just simply eliminating some of those bigger items. So I would take the cardboard from Cactus Jacks in my vehicle to the recycling drop-off center. And then all of a sudden, single stream came about. And then I just decided to use the big haulers. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. In 2006, I started this program. Well, in 2007, the Evergreen Rotary took notice, and one particular person, Meredith Mead, as you probably know here at the Rotary, she has been just involved with this aspect of our community, and she's greatly missed. But she brought me in, and I was on a founding member for Evergreen Sustainable Alliance. And we were called Easy back in the day because we wanted to make it Evergreen Sustainable Alliance and you. So we could make it easy for you. I think the Nings were a part of it and the Moores were a part of it. We had Tupper Briggs and his wife. So it was really grassroots at that time. We didn't know what we were going to do. At the beginning, we started doing a lot of like educational stuff. This was all brand new back in the day. Nobody really knew what to do. And you think it would be easy just keeping things separate, but it's just educating people to do that. So in 2009, we became Rotary's Green Business of the Year, and that really catapulted us into other things with the Colorado Green Business Network, which is now, that's what it's called. It used to be called the Environmental Leadership Program. And this is directly with the Colorado Department of Health and Environment. And we've been members since almost the inception of the program. And it's transformed over the years. You used to get ranged by colors. You would have the bronze level, which would be your introduction level, and then all the way to silver and then to gold. And then they have the big diamond 24 karat, every year. That is something I still want to attain at some point. But so the Colorado Green Business Network is over 200, and it's got to be more by now. Businesses in Colorado that have come together that have the same ideals that are recognized by the state. We have some of the recipients in here. We have Tallgrass Spa and Saloon. And what level are you?
We're silver.
Silver. So each year you reapply. I think every 3 years you can up your level. Levels aren't even as important because each year you're doing more. They just have to have a way to grade you and show what you're doing. But each year, Gary and I submit what we're doing at Cactus Jacks to get to these levels. So of course, we've had a lot of, we're gold. Thank you.
How many people in Evergreen are gold?
I believe 2. It's Bivouac and Cactus Jacks. So, and Bivouac, they had no problem getting gold. They just slid right in. So I'm really proud to be part of that. We also were part of a fellowship. It was in 2023, I believe. That was with Evergreen Sustainable Alliance, and Cactus Jacks hired a fellow to come in and grow our community to get more people involved in the Colorado Green Business Network. And I think that's when the businesses in Evergreen really started to shine to show what we were doing without any help. As we know, we don't have a lot of amenities here in Evergreen so we have to work to get these. let's just finish up with some of the other, we were Evergreen Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year, 2014, and then, the People's Choice in 2016. And then just 2 years ago, we were the Jefferson County Business Sustainability winner, where they just pick a educator, a business, a nonprofit, and just in Jefferson County. So we were very proud to accept that award. Like I said, this is my husband, Gary. We have 2 sons, Gus and Jack. They're really our inspiration. We own the property, where the building, where Cactus Jack's resides, and that's also called Boyer Properties. Gus is a chef at Cactus Jack's, and then my son Jack is a senior studying PGA management at Coastal Carolina and South Carolina. So he's loving it. So the early days in 1996 is when Cactus Jack's was born, and it was under a different owner. His name was Alan Major. You might know him. He owned it for 5 years, but the thing that I always noticed about Alan is that he always had a separate container for glass. And glass is the hugest contaminant other than plastic filament or single stream. Glass, when it breaks, it becomes dangerous. It gets thrown away at the MRF systems. If you've ever toured a MRF system, what happens is that they lay everything on conveyor belts, and then all the stuff that is broken will end up in the bottom, and all of that is just thrown away in trash, and they don't break that up. So when the glass breaks in a single stream, sometimes it is even to the point where they have to throw away the whole load. So if there's one thing you can do and learn today, it's eliminate glass from your single stream. So what I've done, and we'll get into this, I keep getting off track here, but what I've tried to do in my new collection service is to keep everything separated. So that's something to think about through this presentation. So since 1996, we've been collecting glass. In 2008, I took a course with Denver Urban Gardens. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're down in Denver. And it was a master composting program. And I'd go down there, I think it was for 12 weeks, 1 day a week, and learn how to compost. And it's interesting because you can't really compost in the mountains. We have a lot of big animals and pests that will get into it. So I learned how to vermicompost, and I did a lot of classes throughout the years on doing that. But I've kind of gotten away with it because we have such a good setup now where I don't have to do it and have trash laying in my yard. So that was really educational. Like I said earlier, I'm a founding board member of EASY with Meredith Mead. She really was an inspiration for me personally. Like I said, she not only recognized us, but she, even if I was just a 20-something-year-old kid at the time, she really gave me the time of day and really was recognizing that we wanted to put our words into action. And so I really feel like she was my inspiration for a lot of this. Having a family inspired me to be more socially responsible. I'm sure a lot of people in this room can relate to that. So I'm sure Gary can tell you that we always have rotten food on our countertops, and we have recycling next to our dinner table. We literally will have a big pail of food that I take down a couple times a week down to this, because composting is a little different than it used to be back in the day. You used to have to just be, your banana peels and your organic material. Now we can do everything at Cactus Jack's, including French fries and chicken bones and bread and stuff that you didn't think you could do before. So what they do is they take it down to A1 organics, and it just gets really hot compared to my vermicomposting where my worms were getting indigestion, so. All right, so our history with the Colorado Green Business Network. As I said, we started back in 2009, we got the bronze. They encourage you every year to go up and try new goals. So we were able to attain the silver. And then we stayed at silver for a little while, even though we could have moved up sooner, just simply because of life. I know a lot of you know about, the flood that happened in 2013. So that set us back a little bit. So I think my numbers are a little off. We didn't get gold till about 2017, I think. So, but yeah, so the Colorado Green Business Network has really been my guide through all this. And when I didn't have questions, I go to them. If I need networking, I go to them. I've learned a lot about some new programs that the state has passed. through the, it's the Producers Responsibility Act that I'll get into in a little bit, but all through the Green Business Network. So if you are interested in getting involved with that, there are some members here that you could talk to, or I'll be available for questions. But it's just merely doing a few things to get into that network. So like Gail said, I am EDBA president. I went into a meeting in 2021. I actually had hurt my knee, so I was on crutches. I was going there to recruit people for the Colorado Green Business Network, and I ended up as vice president of the EDBA. You know, COVID was a difficult time for us businesses down there. And at that point, I know a lot of you probably don't know this, but we were talking about dissolving the Evergreen Downtown Business Association. It was just getting to be where there was a lot of work and not a lot of participation. So a couple of us decided that it was very important for this 30-year-old organization to continue. So I did 1 year as VP, and then I got stuck in the president's job. But it's allowed me to develop a program I'm very proud of, and I think will be successful in time, but it's a downtown recycling program. I only have about 5 businesses right now that are involved. I have, let me see if it's on my next slide. Well, let me go ahead and say, I've got Tallgrass Spa, I've got Evergreen Crafters, I've got Evergreen Clothing Company, I have the whole Evergreen Design Center for Kay. Thank you so much. So once a week, what I've been doing is going over there personally myself, and I'm working with their staff, and the staff are amazing. They're already doing more than any other staff has ever done in the history of recycling. But what I'm doing is teaching them how to keep everything separate. Because in my opinion, single stream just doesn't work the way that it does. And until we can get a better system where we eliminate some of the contaminants, then it will work better. But I'm working with these employees to go through their stuff. We have to eliminate caps, lids, corks from your plastic bottles, your glass. You have to make sure that certain things are the way they are. But with this staff, they're amazing because they actually listen. And the next week I'll come back, and what took me almost an hour at each place the first time took me less than 5 minutes the next time. That's how quickly we have these employees that are learning. Like I said, Foothills Recycling used to be EDS, Evergreen Disposal Services. They were in business for 50 years. They were collecting trash and recycling in your neighborhoods. They operated the transfer station, which was all the way over on the S curves past the fire station 3, maybe 4. Thank you. And they shut that down. I think Denver Art Parks owned that property and no longer wanted a transfer station there. So when that happened, we had to start from scratch again. And even though we had been still operating this spot, it had become official. So from 2012 to 2024, EDS ran that. It took us 8 months to negotiate this, and you'd think, oh my gosh, why? It's really 2 people that really love recycling and love this community. Preston Luce, his family, has been in this community forever, and this is one of their last things that they had in this community. So it took us 8 months, and during that time, there was a new spot for composting over at Buchanan Park. So unfortunately, I lost that income to Evergreen Sustainable Alliance. So we have 2 great compost sites now, but I had to start from scratch at that time just to let you guys know that, I'm still looking for people. Like I said, we collect cardboard, paper, aluminum, scrap metal, plastics 1s and 2s. Let's get a little bit more into this. Where does this go? So when we collect the cardboard, we have to make bales. We delivered, I want to say 80 tons of cardboard to Oklahoma this last time, and it took us 4 months to collect it all. And in one day, we'll take the forklift and we'll put all these onto a flatbed truck, and then it'll be driven to Oklahoma. The glass we collect for Anheuser-Busch, they have a circular economy here. What they do is they own Glass to Glass and they own OI Glass. And so Glass to Glass is who collects the glass. Hopefully regionally, but definitely in Colorado. And this is the only place that I know of that collects glass currently locally. Coors stopped collecting it, which that was the main place we would go to deliver it. But OI will, Glass to Glass will collect it. OI will make it into a cricket, which is sand like. And then they'll sell it back to Anheuser-Busch that will make the bottles. The problem with glass is that they don't accept, our glassware that you have at your table. They only want bottles and certain things like jars. And they can't be contaminated with corks, lids, caps, or we can't take things like candles because of the wax that were on there. So glass is pretty tricky, and it's the one of two things that's infinitely recyclable. So when you're thinking about products, and I encourage you to think about them when you buy them, if you could get a glass bottle or an aluminum bottle over a plastic bottle, we can recycle that indefinitely. As I mentioned, the aluminum and scrap metal. Scrap metal is pretty interesting. I took a washing machine from Eric's place. One of your tenants wanted to get rid of a washing machine stack. And we took it. We didn't have to break it apart. We didn't do anything. Now I would worry about refrigeration and stuff like that, but I have a whole container that we, add our scrap metal, like our steel cans and stuff to. And then we transport that down to Atlas Metal, which is down in Denver, and then they take care of it from there. So I would encourage you, another thing that I'm gonna pick up is at Evergreen Design Center, they have a gutter that they're no longer using. Instead of it going into the trash like we normally maybe do, because it's damaged, I'm taking it to the scrap metal. So this is kind of exciting for me to know, because I just thought it was just steel cans. So you'll see there's a piece of rebarb in there, there's screws, there's paper clips, so a lot can go into this. And the aluminum we keep separate because it actually makes money. It's probably one of the only things it does. So we keep that separate. We also take styrofoam. There's a place in Denver, it's called Atlas Molded Products. And they actually make the product of styrofoam. And they will take it back at no cost. The only thing that we get charged for is transportation. And that's one of the things that when I included on what I do is I drive some of this stuff down myself. I've learned that because I don't own a huge flatbed truck, that it actually costs more to transport this stuff than I'm charging to collect it. So right now I'm just kind of in a position of like I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, is that what it is? Yeah. So compost goes up to Eaton, Colorado. They have a facility there where, fields just lined of rotten food. We can't do yard waste. We can't do compostable plates. Those should continue to go into your trash or slash down on, there's a slash collection down in Golden as well. But the compost goes out to Eaton. It's pretty amazing. A lot of the stuff that we do at Cactus Jacks, we juice our own juice. So we have a lot of oranges. And I never knew what to do with those when I was doing vermicomposting. Now I can literally take them over to the container behind King Soopers and it will go somewhere and not into landfill. If there's one other thing that you take away from this presentation, it's that composting is the easiest and most effective thing for recycling. It is the biggest producer of methane gas and when you talk about our landfills. So if we can eliminate those and they can turn it back into organic material to reuse them, that's the way it's supposed to happen. It's not supposed to go in the trash. So like us, if you want rotten food on your countertop, just think you'll be saving the world. Plastic film, we do work with Trex decking to collect all of the stretchy plastics. So there's a lot of different plastic films out there. And just like the other 1s and 2s of plastic, they also have a number. The stretchy is the ones that you can recycle. The ones like dog bags or treats, or I'm trying to think some of the other things that might come in them that are really hard to get through those stretchy. We still take those, we give them to King Soopers, but honestly, I have no idea what they're doing with them. So this is kind of what the recycling we are still figuring things out as we go. We don't know what's going on, so we're collecting trash just to keep it separate. But at least get your stretchy stuff to us, because that's the stuff that we know we can recycle. But again, eliminate plastic. Plastic is bad. Okay, our paper, we use Republic Services. They're actually a hauling company down in Denver. I noticed that they do a couple of schools up here as well. But they have this amazing system. So you wonder like what constitutes paper, right? Can magazines go in there? They have something that will separate that so that we have one pile of glossy paper and one pile of like newspaper and regular office paper. It's pretty amazing. So they're our go-to for paper. But yeah, I've learned recently that you can even do Christmas paper. I thought that was a big no-no, but Steve says that we take anything that you can tear. So if it can tear, I was thinking maybe my tea bags, the things that the paper comes in, maybe those since they tear. So until you hear otherwise, I think we will be accepting that stuff. All right, plastics. We take 1s and 2s. What are those little triangles on your plastics? So 1s and 2s mean, and I don't want to get this wrong, because they are what is in the actual plastic. The way I look at it is that their 1s and 2s are kind of the newer plastics. So they have a lifetime of 1 or 2 times. The older plastics that have been recycled, you'll see used for or made from recycled products, right? Those are going to be your 5s and 6s. And then your 7s are going to be compostable. So they have to add more stuff to those plastics when they're recycled. So that's why they get the higher numbers, and that's why you can't recycle them anymore. So what we're trying to do at our house and what we're trying to do at Cactus Jack's is just eliminate any plastics whatsoever, because if they only have 1 or 2 lifetimes compared to aluminum and glass that has indefinite lifetimes, we're going to choose over those. So we also bail these up. We get pennies to the dollars for plastics. Nobody wants them. We were shipping them overseas for many years. That came to an end. There really is just no end cycle life for these products. At Foothills Recycling, we are looking at the future. We would like to start electronic and hard to recycle items. The great news is that the Rotary has those days for us already. So it's not like we're not doing that. The Rotary, I think Women in Business and a few other nonprofits in town have those days. So in the meantime, please keep doing that. Our hours. So we're closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Of course, this is always something that we would like to improve. We're open on Sundays, noon to 5, Mondays, 10 to 5, Thursdays, 12 to 5, Fridays, 10 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 5. We do have memberships now. So one of those memberships is for compost only, which will allow you to have a lock, just similar to what Evergreen Sustainable was doing. And it will have a code on it. And so if you pay the $10 a month that it costs to be part of this program, you will get that lock code and you can dump whenever you want. Otherwise, you have to come during operation hours, even if you have a membership. So we have 2 other memberships. So we have the Compost Commander, which is a $10 a month membership where you can come and dump your compost. And then we have the Recyclopath, which is $20. And that is just for all the recycling, no compost. That includes, let me see if I have it here. So that does not include styrofoam, scrap metal, and plastic film, because we have to charge extra for those. So if you're a Recyclopath, it just covers the cardboard, plastics, aluminum, paper, and so forth. And then we have our final one, the $30 one a month. So this is really minimal cost to us. And it is, I don't remember what we named it, but it combines both of them. And it includes scrap metal, styrofoam, plastic film. So you get everything for $30. You can bring your washing machines over if you want. So we're really excited about our new start here. We have a Venmo for pay now. I knew before, a lot of the problem over there was you have to bring cash, which cash is king. So we like that. So don't get me wrong, but you can still use your phone to Venmo us. A minimum card load right now is $7. So a lot of people that don't want the membership and maybe just want to come once a month, you can cram that stuff into your car and get it in there for $7. We have a grand opening. It'll be on May the 4th. That's this Sunday. We have free recycling and compost. It is Star Wars themed, so if you want to dress up, go for it. But, how we got where we're at with, the recycling is kind of interesting. Like I said, I had 8 months of negotiation, but this has really been a life passion of mine. I don't know why this stuff sticks in my head. There's a lot of stuff that goes in and out, but recycling sticks. And I know that this is one thing that I can control every single day, how I buy the products that I buy, and then what I do with them. And it's simply a hauling issue for Evergreen. You know, it's not like we have a landfill here. It's not like we have a recycling operation where we, you know, turn that glass into cricket and all that stuff. It literally is getting it from our community to somewhere else. And so there are opportunities in the upcoming year, like I said, the Producer Responsibility Act. What that is that every time that you buy something in Colorado, the business is charged a little, I mean, pennies to the dollar, 0.001 to every time you have to deliver something. So if it's in styrofoam, if it's in plastic, that costs the business to do that. And then that goes into a nonprofit, and the nonprofit distributes that to different organizations. Well, we plan on applying for grants that will hopefully cover our operating costs, because seriously, sitting here trying to get $7 for trash, it's not easy. So if we have grants that'll pay for our operating costs, then hopefully we won't charge. That's our whole goal. So questions? Oops, sorry.
Go ahead. Anybody have a question? Right.
Oh, you know what, I wanted to ask, I wanted to make sure I did. I'm sorry, baby. I wanted to ask if I'm doing the correct thing, because every 2 weeks we have the recycling. Do we put everything in there, or should we separate it and bring glass to you rather than put glass and cardboard,
Right.
et cetera?
Well, I'm not going to tell you to not use the haulers, but in my opinion, it's just like anything we do, like you could do it perfectly, but your neighbor down the street might not be able to do it. And so that truck becomes contaminated almost immediately. So everything that we do to work towards it goes out the window. So I'm not saying don't use it, but like in my opinion, I've seen them back up to trash trucks. And through my experiences, things just aren't getting recycling. It might be different down in the city, but like I said, this is a hauling issue up here. So for right now, what I've done is I started taking it behind there. But I know that Shirley Septic and some of these other places are trying to do what's right. But they can't ask their customers to eliminate glass because they feel like they might lose competition. So as a community, if we eliminated glass, like we have eliminated plastic film, I think that major haulers will work better. But personally, I think single stream is kind of dead because it's extra work. We're throwing in and we're acting like it's trash. If we kept it separate, then you would literally bring it to me. I would put it into a bale and I would take it somewhere else. Right now, it has to go down somewhere and get mixed and managed. It's labor intensive, when it simply can be just like 3 or 4 different trash cans. So I would suggest eliminating glass first, if that's what you can do.
Yeah, that was kind of my comment, and something that Megan and I talked about, what she calls it, and she's not saying it today, but calling the current recycling system that we have where you put it in your trash can, she calls it wish cycling.
Yeah.
So, you know, it seems like this nice thing to do, that you're gonna put it all in your little recycling bag and it's gonna magically be recycled. But because so much of it is contaminated in a variety of ways, you know, I'll blame, I'm an idiot. I put stupid stuff in there. I'll put a cap, or I don't clean something well, or the glass bottle that's in there breaks. And the minute that happens, everything's gone. Or worse, the neighbor, you know, in the same truck, they don't do it right. So your perfect recycling bag is in trouble. So one of the things that she's starting to do, which is what Kay and Tallgrass is starting, she's working with us on a way to try it, is her picking up separated items at businesses. So at Tallgrass, we're separating our cardboard and so she's picking it up, like one day a week she'll pick up, plastic, and the next it'll be cardboard, and the next it'll be this. So I encourage you all, if you can, to, especially for businesses, particularly up here, but then of course she's trying to do this, to pick up, and I don't know what you call it, I call it single stream.
Yeah.
Well, you're trying to pick up.
I say single stream is dead.
Yeah, and what do you call the other thing, where it's individual?
Yeah, I don't have
lines?
a name for it.
Okay, you need to.
I need a name.
Okay, so, but anyway, I encourage you guys to think about that, and, I don't know that that was really a question, but, that's my concern.
Okay, it's really quick. I use a service in my office, when you talk about office paper, we have a company that comes and shreds. I honestly don't know what they do with that shredded paper afterwards. Is that something that?
Well, I know that the shredding is not offered at Evergreen Foothills Recycling. However, I would assume that but again, it's all assumption, I don't have the answer for that.
I think they're probably, is it secure, like HIPAA?
It's a secure.
They're secure, yeah, yeah. So they take it to a big
facility.
I'll get one more question and then we're at our time. So Anne, I'll go ahead and let you.
So happy you're taking this over. Thank you. Will eventually you be able to take batteries and bulbs? That's always so hard to know what to do.
Right. And actually, Colorado is passing a law, trying to work with batteries and figure out a better stream for them. Because, it just ends up in the landfill and they're emitting these horrible chemicals. So yes, our goal is to be a full facility and our goal is to be at no cost for Evergreen. Is that possible right now? No, not absolutely not. But if we can come together as a community and help, and that's one of the things that I had on my slide, is I'm looking for an advisory board. Should this be a nonprofit? Maybe, if it's not making any money and we can get grants. I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of the passion and the work and I know you do too, and a lot of people in this room have that, and I'm looking for people that have expertise in different areas to help with that. Whether you're an attorney, whether you're somebody that knows business better than I, maybe they have their own collection site. I want these ideas. So if you're interested, my email is Foothills Recycling Colorado, Foothills Recycling Colorado, and it's just at Gmail. So.
And we'll put that in the minutes.
Thank you so much.
So Megan, I want to thank you for coming and talking with us. Great things going on with recycling. And for speaking to us, we donate 60 doses of polio vaccine in your name.
Well,
So
thank
as you know,
you.
we're trying to eradicate polio. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And all right. Thank you guys for putting up with me today, winging it. So please go out, share the magic of Rotary. Thank you to all of our guests. Have a great day.